All right, it's time for another edition of Hitting the Books as we break down the best bets for NFL Championship Sunday. Joining me for this episode is a sports betting content creator north of the border in Vancouver, British Columbia, the one and only Shantelle. Shantelle, how's it going?
It's going good, Dex. This is arguably one of the most fun weekends with the NFL season, so I'm excited to get to it.
Yeah, I'm excited to get to it. I know sometimes some people say last weekend, the divisional round, but Championship Sunday with the right to go to the Super Bowl on the line, you got to love that. I mean, you just got to. It's the final games before the Super Bowl. You got to love that. The first game on Sunday, Chiefs versus Ravens. Kansas City currently 3.5-point road underdogs against Baltimore. Over under is at 44.5. Now, Shantelle, the Chiefs, they are underdogs for the second week in a row here. Are you doing the thing that some people have been doing, betting against Patrick Mahomes, or are you going to back the top-seeded Ravens here?
Oh, this is going to be such a good matchup because it's really Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson, and there's some crazy stats in this one, Dex, because Patrick Mahomes is 3-1 against Lamar Jackson, but the Ravens are on a heater. They've won 10 of their last 11, and then the Chiefs are peaking at the most perfect time, having won 6 in a row. And despite the fact that the Chiefs' defense has been really good, they also gave up a bunch of yards on the ground to Josh Allen, I believe 72. And we know that Lamar Jackson on the ground is definitely a lot more explosive. So I think Lamar Jackson is going to have himself a day. Plus, the run game for the Ravens has been good all year long with Hill and Gus Edwards. Also, the Ravens defense, we don't talk much about the defense as well because Lamar's just been balling out, but they've held their last 5 opponents to under 20 points. So I think overall the Ravens are the better team. It's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, but I'm going to lay the points with the Ravens here.
All right, going to lay the points for the Ravens here and go with them. I do think it's a tough decision. Ravens look like the best team in football, maybe AFC at least all year, but Patrick Mahomes. Look, Shantelle, it's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes. I'm not sure I can do it. He's just been too good in the playoffs time and time again. Now, the late game features the Lions at the Niners. San Francisco, they are 7-point home favorites. And Deebo Samuel, we now know that he will play. We know that Detroit, they can put up points to odd makers. They're respecting that. Over under 51.5 points. How are you betting the NFC Championship game?
Yeah, they're expecting points in this one. And no surprise, Detroit has been very impressive all season long. I mean, they lived up to the hype as well. They're in the NFC Championship game. But Jared Goff has been extremely efficient in this one during the postseason as well. I think all eyes are going to be on him. But I think it also really comes down to the fact that the 49ers, you mentioned Deebo Samuel is going to be playing in this one. I think on paper, they are the most complete team and they have the most talent. And the 49ers, they got Christian McCaffrey. Now, he had about 5 yards per carry on the ground last week. Detroit has been pretty solid for their run defense during the regular season, but not in the postseason, Dex. They're giving about 4.7 yards per carry. So I think CMC is going to do CMC things on the ground tomorrow. And as I mentioned, Jared Goff, I want to see how efficient he is against this secondary of the 49ers because they're a top 5 secondary. And last week against Jordan Love, they held him to under 200 yards. They picked him off twice. So I know Detroit has been very, very good, and I take a look at that number and take a look at that spread, and I think they are going to cover, but I think the 49ers are going to win this one.
All right, 49ers winning, but you got the Lions covering here, 7-point underdogs. That will be interesting to see. Lions fans, they're riding hope. They want to see this thing through. They want to get to Vegas. Last thing, Shantelle. All right, we got 2 games, so give me your 2 best player props for Sunday's championship games. One for the AFC game, one for the NFC game. What do you got?
All right, for the AFC game, since I'm rolling with the Ravens, I got to roll with Lamar Jackson in this one. On the ground is over under for rushing yards. It's set to 66.5. I like the over here. I mentioned that they gave up 72 yards to Josh Allen on the ground. Lamar Jackson is way quicker, more explosive than Josh Allen. So I think Lamar Jackson is going to have himself a day on the ground. As for the NFC Championship game, Brock Purdy, everyone's talking about, is he a game manager or is he MVP level type of quarterback? For passing yards, it's set to 275.5. I like the over here as well because the Detroit Lions, as good as their secondary looked last week, they still gave up a lot of yards in the air. They gave up about 340 to a guy like Dak Prescott. And then last week, they gave up 349 yards to Baker Mayfield. So I think Brock Purdy is going to have himself a day, and I'm going to take the over there as well.
All right, there you go. That Detroit secondary has been prone to giving up big passing days to opposing quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield, not trying to catch any strays there, but yeah, he's not known for passing on folks like that. That is Shantelle Shan, the great sports betting content creator. Shantelle, these games should be really fun, should be exciting. We will see who makes it to Super Bowl 58, and hopefully your bets are winners for the people.
Thanks so much for having me, Dex. I'm hoping that they hit as well.
All right, thank you so much.